Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Ashley. If you guys are new here, I am an in-home daycare provider. I've been providing childcare services from my house for the past 5 years. So I don't know how I'm going to title this video. I don't know what to call this video. I saw that I was talking to a lot of parents. I don't know about you guys, but right now I'm getting so many inquiries about childcare. I have a lot of kids leaving to kindergarten and grade school, pre-K and stuff like that. I actually had 4 spaces open up and I filled all 4 in like that. But I did find myself wasting a lot of my time. And the reason why I say I was wasting a lot of my time is because I was having these long conversations with parents. I'm talking like huge paragraphs, essays at points, and sending them pictures and taking phone calls. And then there's this one thing that they ask me and they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I should have asked that in the beginning. You no longer suit my needs, if that makes sense. So I came up with a couple of questions that I frequently saw being asked towards the end of our conversation. And I feel like I need to start asking them in the beginning. And I started doing this and I feel like it's a little bit more efficient. It doesn't waste my time as a provider and it doesn't waste their time as a parent. I hope I'm making sense, but I'm just gonna go ahead and dive really quickly into this video so you guys can kind of understand me a little bit better. So the first thing that I want you guys to do when you're talking to new parents is give them your location. Now, I'm not telling you to give them your exact address. I'm just telling you to give them a general location of where you're at. I actually started doing this a long time ago. So for example, if you live behind a Publix, you're going to give them the address to that Publix. So go on Google, search Publix, search the address, and you're going to send that to them. And you're going to tell them, I live behind this Publix. You're not giving them your exact location. You're giving them a general idea to see where you're located. The reason why I say to do that is because some people don't feel comfortable with giving them their exact address. Now, me, I thank God, I really do thank God that I have been safe these past 5 years. I just recently started doing this and I used to just give everybody my exact address and I thank God that I haven't had any problems. But as time goes on, I really do think that I need to be a little bit more cautious. And I started to give new families a general idea of where I live. So I pick a business that's next to me. You can pick any business and give them that address and then let them put that in their GPS and figure out where you are. Then if they say, oh yes, I'm really close to that, when can we meet? If you want to give them your address then and there and have them meet you at your house, you can, or you can meet them at a coffee shop, go get some coffee with them, etc. And then when you're there and you get a feel of them and you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and give them your address there. What I'm trying to say is just give them a general idea of where you're located in the beginning of your conversation, because it sucks to have an hour conversation. The last question they ask you is your address and then you're far away, if that makes sense. First tip, like I said, is just to give them a general idea of where you're located. The second thing is to ask them if they're allergic to pets. So I have 3 cats, I have a guinea pig, and I have 2 turtles. I'm not going to get rid of my pets for a new family if they have an allergy. Now that might sound mean, but my daycare isn't for everybody. I can't take every single kid in my area. And just because your child's allergic to cats, I have 8 other kids that are not allergic to cats. I'm not going to just stop my daycare and get rid of my cats because your child needs it. I know that, like I said, it sounds a little bit rude, but it's true. I'm not going to do it. There might be a parent that is allergic to cats for my program, for example, or dogs or whatever your scenario is, but the kid isn't. I currently have a family that is in my program right now where mom is allergic to cats, but she still brings me her kids. Then when I first opened up my daycare, I had a dad that was allergic to cats, and they still brought their kids to my program, and she was with me for almost 4 years. So I don't think that you just can't get pets, but I just want you to make sure that you get that information out to them, because again, you don't want to have this long conversation and then they find out you have cats, they're allergic to cats, and they don't want you as a daycare provider. So I just want to put that out there. So the next thing to go over is hours. So you want to go over hours, the age of the child, if they need you for full-time or part-time, and you want to give them your rates. You want to give them your rates because, again, I'm going to keep repeating myself. You don't want to have this hour conversation and then you're too expensive. You get what I'm saying? So I don't personally adjust my rates for everybody. I tell them what it is. If they like it, they stay. If they don't, they can go somewhere else. I personally think that I'm really affordable. I think if there's somebody out there that's like significantly cheaper than me, it's not for a good reason. I do think that I'm decent. I'm not expensive like facilities, because I don't need to be expensive as facilities, because I don't have to pay employees. I don't have to pay facility rent. There's a lot of things that facilities have to pay for that I don't. So my prices are cheaper than them, but I feel like I'm pretty competitive. And I've also had parents that were from other daycares, that were in-home daycares, that would come to me and they would tell me kind of like what their rate was. So I kind of know that for my area, my rates are good and I'm not going to change them for anything. And again, you want to give them your rates because you don't want them to say, oh, you're too expensive. You want to get that out in the beginning. And then you can let them know if you take full-time and part-time. I personally only take full-time. That's a whole other topic. And then I also go over their hours, and then I let them know that if you need me outside of 7:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m., if you need me to 6:30, there's an extra charge. And if you need me before 7:30, there's either an extra charge, or I just don't take the kids, because waking up early is the time where I take to myself and I do what I need to do for like my YouTube and stuff like that. So sometimes staying open a little bit later isn't that bad for me, because I'm home, we just do dinner and stuff like that. But opening early is something that I'm like I don't really like to do. So the next thing that you want to go over is if their child is enrolled in any program. And the reason why I like to go over that is because it just gives you a better idea of what the child is going to be like. So for childcare providers, if you guys are already existing, you'll know that a kid that sometimes, not in all cases, but sometimes kids that are already in a program and they're coming to a new program, they're easier to transition versus getting a kid that's been home with mom for 2 years and now they're going into daycare. Might be a little bit harder. So I like to just ask that question for my sanity. I like to figure out a little bit about the kid through that question. And I also like to ask, why are you seeking childcare? Now, this might be a little bit forward for you guys. Sometimes I don't have to ask this question because they already tell me in the beginning of our conversation, like, hey, Ashley, my name is Rebecca. I'm seeking childcare and I found your information. I need childcare because currently my aunt is watching my child, but I feel like she isn't reliable. They give you the reason before, so you don't have to ask it. But if they don't give me that reason, I like to ask. And the reason why I like to ask that as a childcare provider is because I did just look at one of my Facebook messages from a long time ago when I was getting my notes ready for this video. And I saw a message from a mom that she reached out to me, and she's a stay-at-home mom. She wanted 3 days a week, so part-time. And she wanted that so that her kid can get used to being with other kids and so that she had time for herself. So just remember that mom is stay at home 3 days a week just so her child can adapt. Then on this side, you have another part-time child. Mom is working, but dad and her go between days off. So for example, you might have them 2 or 3 days a week and they need you because they need childcare because they're working. So which child are you going to take? Now, I would take the kid that has the working parents because at any given moment in time, one stay-at-home mom just doesn't want to bring the kid to you anymore. She can just drop you. So that's not going to be a reliable income. Like, it's not a reliable slot. You know what I'm saying? This one, they need you because they're both working. So I would take this child. So I have a wait list in my daycare. And when I put the names of the child, I write their names, I write their age, and I write why they're seeking childcare. Okay? And the reason why I do that is because when you're looking at your list, like I said, you're going to want to figure out which one is going to better fit your program. So I hope that makes sense. And I do think that once you get all of these questions answered, you're not going to be wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? So to go over quickly, you're going to want to, 1, give them a general idea of where you're located. 2, figure out if they have any allergies. 3, you're going to want to figure out what they need from you, the hours, if they're part-time, full-time, days of the week, and you want to give them your rates. 4 is you want to figure out if they're in any program. And 5 is you want to figure out why they're seeking childcare. That makes sense? I hope it makes sense. So those are the questions that I came up with right now. I do have a video that's coming up on actually doing a tour. So once you get all of these questions asked, if the parent wants to schedule a tour with you, I'm going to go over what you're going to want to do before the tour, during the tour, and after the tour. And that's going to be in my next video. So once you guys are done watching this video, you can go ahead and check out that video because I think that it would be really, 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 really good for you guys. So if you guys are watching this video on Tuesday, Thursday, that video will be up. So you guys can go ahead and check it out. And that basically sums up this video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. And I will see you guys in my next video.